I do have to say, in general, TvT is a funny matchup in that it feels like Europe and Korea are kind of on par in most of the matchups. I would say sometimes TvZ, I even feel like Europe's a little bit stronger than Korea, except for maybe Dark and Maru. It just in general, but TvT is one of those matchups where it feels like the Koreans have always just been very slightly ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah, we have seen it before. I do think a lot of that just comes down to just the quality, not just the quality of players, but the quantity of players. There are so many strong TvT snipers in Korea, and we have two of them right here.
Yeah, and here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. It is Bunny.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, we have his opponent representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Cure.
I believe Bunny's teamless at the moment, right? Since NV disbanded.
For this tournament, he was representing Team NV.
Okay.
He may not anymore. I not certain. But for the time of this tournament, he was on Team NV. He was.
Okay. We don't need to go to the future.
Yeah, we're still in not November, puppy.
Oh, I'm dying.
Like, we've been in November for 2 months, puppy. Let me free.
Yes. Well.
Oh.
Already we do see a little bit of a divergence in the build. So Cure actually going for a gas first, which is pretty unusual. This is something that used to be very common in the matchup, but it's very out of meta now. It's quite unusual to play a gas first double gas just because it's basically the same, but you have two less SCVs. And in a mirror matchup, having less SCVs is a really big deal. So most of the time when we see a gas first in the matchup, it's because it's going to be a one base build and the faster factory is needed. So I'm interested to see what he's got in store here.
Yeah, I'm interested as well. You know, Moondance can kind of lend to a more aggressive playstyle because of the rush distance, and especially the Korean players usually have no fear. They throw caution to the wind time and time again. So we'll see how one base we are here. We already have the Hellion on the way. Back across map, Bunny, of course, did go for a Reaper straight into the reactor as well, and is going to be, I imagine, pumping out a couple more Reapers from here, even getting his own natural location.
Okay, so this might be a little bit of a metagame. This is something that I've recently learned about. So if you go for this gas first Reaper Hellion, you have this timing with the 2 Reapers and the 1 Hellion versus a reactor build like this, where you actually outnumber the units and you can pretty much guarantee a kill on the CC builder. So I think that's what he's looking for here.
Yeah, as we can see, you know, Cure, he just does have the higher numbers. He has that additional Reaper. He's going to be able to hit this timing. He should be able to push Bunny back, maybe even get a kill on some of these units, and then get that delay on the CC.
Yeah, there we go. So gets that kill, and he should be able to get on out of there as soon as he sees the extra units. There we go. So yeah, nice moves by Cure, and we do see the advantage of this build as well.
Yeah, there we go. So we see the reasoning for it. We do see Bunny actually engaging in, oh my god, the Hellions, the shots line up, and Cure is going to, okay, we're going to kind of trade evenly here.
Yeah, pretty nice micro coming out from both players. Beautiful grenade coming out from Bunny, but really nice job by Cure to actually line up the Reapers with the Hellions. And yeah, these players absolutely going at it. Another beautiful grenade there, and he takes out the Hellion.
Oh my god, he hunts down the Hellion. It goes down. After all said and done, we can see that we have lost an equal amount of units here, but Bunny does come out a little bit worse for wear in that delayed CC.
Yeah, the other thing is Bunny's tech is quite delayed, so he was going for a 5 Reaper 3 Hellion opening, and because he's lost so many units, he kind of loses that timing, and that means he's just behind when it comes to the Ravens and the factory units. He's going to try to make up for this with this Reaper dive into the main, and there's nothing here for Cure to deal with that, but oh yeah, Bunny's just going to play it safe, get out of there before that Cyclone comes back.
Yeah, it was a little bit mistimed. The Hellion dove in a little bit early, it died immediately, and then the Cyclone could reroute towards the main base, so Bunny didn't have the largest opening. He gets out of there. He at least preserves these Reapers for maybe a later scout. Oh, but Bunny is forced back.
Yeah, this has been a super scrappy opening coming out from these two players, but just assessing how everything has settled, looks like they're pretty closely matched on the SCV, so neither of them really managed to get a big lead there. Despite Cure delaying that CC and getting that damage, he was also delayed himself by going for that gas first. So his advantage here is going to be this double Cyclone that's a little bit further ahead.
Oh yeah, he's got the 2 Cyclones. He's also got faster tank production as well. The first tank is about to pop out, and we still don't have any in production here from Bunny. We just see him actually trying to be a little bit cheeky, just waiting here on behind the side blockers, trying to catch any kind of units. The Raven of Cure is able to bypass this army and get across the map.
Yeah, this super aggressive TvT player, it just warms my heart. This is how I think TvT is meant to be played. I love it.
Oh my god, the lock-ons are wasted on the Reapers, and Bunny's gonna be able to try and get on top of this tank. It looks like he may be able to get on top of the auto turret. Is helping zone away some of the army.
Oh yeah, nice micro there from Bunny. Manages to save one of his Cyclones, gets the lock on the tank, and that tank unfortunately being caught a little bit out of position there. The turret here is going to help clean things up. We see 3 SCVs going down on both sides as Cure goes for that turret harass.
Oh, but you know what? He throws down another turret here. May even force a little bit of friendly fire. Doesn't get another SCV though. It is cleaned up. Cure is forced back, and yeah, again, after all said and done, I guess Bunny traded a little bit better. Oh, he gets a lock on the Raven. Up.
Yeah, beautiful maneuvering there as well. Uses his own Raven to keep the vision. Drops a turret to protect the Raven. This is just an incredible game out of these two players, just being so scrappy with every single unit, trying to fight for a small advantage here.
Oh, exactly. And just barely the Ravens are able to survive here from a Bunny. He's able to get the repair off as well. Cure, actually both players even just expanding in their own pocket bases, trying to get their thirds up and running. And I don't know if Cure really has the pushing power here to break on through. He does now have a third Raven. I guess 2 now because he lost one. But he lost so much of that buffer earlier that breaking into these like siege lines, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, looks like he's just trying to buy himself a bit of space here by sitting out in the middle of the map here. So definitely would, especially in TvT, you'd rather take a fight away from your base if you can. So if you have to fall back, you're not giving up a good siege position. But that 3 Raven advantage, or the Raven advantage for Bunny, is going to be something that becomes quite significant because Cure went for the same build but lost a Raven. So Bunny's just straight up ahead on a Raven without being behind on Vikings.
Exactly. So we all know how important air superiority can be here in TvT, and Bunny is going to be able to have that here. He's going to be able to make up for any kind of tank deficit as well because of it, which is kind of the big thing that Cure had going for him coming into this kind of early mid game. Oh, but for the time being, we're just kind of chilling. We're licking our wounds. We're macroing up after an intense early game.
Yeah, the early game was super intense, and that means nothing's going to happen now. But we do see a very nice move from Bunny. Actually baits out the lock-on with the Marine there, so gets that kill completely on that Cyclone, and that means that he has a little bit more map control afforded here. But it looks like Cure, by sitting in the middle of the map for so long, has actually managed to outposition Bunny here.
Yeah, Bunny has no idea where the main army is. He's going to rotate around, moves past the pathing of that Cyclone, so Bunny is a little bit unawares right now. And Cure could find an opening, especially because Bunny, his own Ravens, his own Vikings are quite back.
Yeah, these tanks a little bit out of position as well, just because of the way the Bunny has set things up. So nice open angle here. There's a lot of energy on these Ravens though.
Oh, there are a lot of disables are going to be thrown down here, but it's a little bit too late. The position has been taken. It looks like one of the tanks here of Cure is going to go down, but the disable runs out.
Yeah, disable runs out. That Cyclone will be giving its life up as well, and it looks like Bunny just out of range here with his units. Does have this Viking advantage though, so he can start to make Liberators, and there we go. We do see 2 Liberators are on the way.
There we go, and those Liberators are going to be able to shut down this push. But Cure is reinforcing. He's rushing his reinforcements across the map here to meet up with the rest of his army. Liberators are going to help, but they need a little bit more time.
Yeah, they need a bit more time, and at the same time, we do have Cure sending his army across the map. Should be starting up some medevacs as well, so yeah, he will have that opportunity to break out here. Looks like Bunny going to drop some turrets and go now, but the reinforcements have arrived.
Oh, they've arrived, but is it a little bit too late? It looks like the auto turrets did a great job at just tanking some of those shots. Bunny shuts this down.
Yeah, wow, that was perfectly timed by Bunny, and I think he takes out 3 tanks there, so Bunny's starting to break into a little bit of a tank lead. At the same time, Cure was able to get a 4th on location, so he's going to have a slight economic lead in that way.
Yeah, exactly. Secure is going to be able to make up for that if he can get this 4th base up and running. Likewise, though, Bunny already had a 4th, and he's just floating it here on location.
Yeah, I missed that, actually. So, yeah, it kind of looks like Bunny's just ahead.
Yeah, he is. I guess something that Kira is going for him is that he has started 2-2, and that isn't really in sight for Bunny. So potentially the Marines of Kira will just be perpetually ahead and stronger, but it's going to take a while for that to really kick in.
Yeah, and there we go. I really like the variety in Bunny's army as well. He's got some medevacs there for his bio as well. He's managed to keep most of his Viking Raven alive. Actually, 3 Ravens still alive. The utility of having those still is kind of insane. It's going to be so helpful for him, while Kira's only managed to keep 1 alive.
And speaking of insane, we do have a double drop into the pocket base. Oh my god, he's going to target down the CC!
CC goes down immediately, times his attack at the front at the same time as well, so just distracts Bunny while that's all going on. And yeah, this is a really nice feature of this map. You can abuse this back base area.
Wow, you really can. Bunny completely out of position. Even though he had these sensor towers up and running, he wasn't able to deny this. At the same time, Cure is pushing in towards that triangular third, but no, he doesn't find a way in.
Yeah, great scan from Bunny as well. Realizes that the army is repositioning, and maybe gets a little bit lucky there that he did drop that scan and that Cure repositioned in reaction, because I feel like that was almost a bit of a bluff. Bunny didn't really have that much in position to hold this base.
Yeah, he had 3 tanks and that is it, and they were quite spread out as well. Meanwhile, Cure is going to back off. He's going to rotate over towards the right-hand side. Bunny is moving out in towards the center of the map.
Yeah, Bunny has a good army lead here. Does get a little bit lucky there, spots out the army of Cure, so isn't going to be caught behind in the base trade, but it does feel like he's quite ahead on the army. One thing that you did point out earlier is that the 2-2 is ahead for Cure, so there is going to be a timing for him here where he will have that 2-2 over Bunny, and I think he might look to attack them.
Yeah, we'll see if he can pull that off. Meanwhile, again, another double drop in towards the pocket base. This time it doesn't deal anywhere near as much damage, but it does distract Bunny here. It does pull his army a little bit out of position. We do see Cure just trying to find a way in, but this time Bunny, he's all over this.
Yeah, he's all over this. He has got the Venn diagram on the Venn diagram of sensor towers. He sees everything.
Oh, the circles on circles. And with that, there is no way into his pocket base. Now Bunny, he's moving out across the map. He scans, he confirms the location of Cure's army.
Yeah, there we go. So we do see the positioning. It does feel like Bunny actually kind of got the jump on him here, but Cure threatening the base trade here, and Bunny does not want to accept.
Oh my god, and Bunny on siege here is going to lose 2-3 tanks.
Yeah, huge there, and Bunny didn't throw down an anti-armor missile, which I feel like he could have if it was a little bit quicker.
Oh, if it was just a little bit faster. Meanwhile, that 2-2 timing, the Marines of Cure clean up the army of Bunny, but at the same time, he loses his tanks on the low ground.
Yeah, so in the end, they kind of trade out their units, but Cure has a much higher SCV count. He also has that 4th completely up and running. Looks like Bunny hasn't fully saturated that yet. Still trying to get the saturation back on his back base.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it goes to show how important it was that Cure sniped a CC earlier, right? Like, that was insane. Not just denying any kind of mules, but denying an entire base worth of income. So Cure just taking a massive lead because of that. Finally, the upgrades are about to even up here. Bunny finishing up his own 2-2, but his army is suffering.
Yeah, and Cure's a little bit ahead on the infrastructure as well, getting his extra racks is already as well on the double tank production, so he's ahead in quite a few different ways. But yeah, Bunny is starting to make some magic happen. Yeah. Massive attack coming in through the natural, and it's completely caught Cure off guard here.
I mean, you kill my CC, I kill your CC, Bobby. Here we go. He goes to natural at the same time. The main was just landed for Cure to take a 5th. I was like, oh my god, he's crazy. He's expanding so quickly, but another drop comes in and Cure is being pulled apart.
Oh my god, and he catches the transfer of SCVs. Almost every SCV goes down. We see 33 SCVs are gone. That massive eco lead that Cure had is just gone in an instant. And the base is going to go down as well.
Wow, in an instant, in a moment, Cure just lost 2 orbitals, and one of them was even his main.
Yeah, Cure is on 2 bases now. He is completely all in with this army, and he just doesn't have the army that he needs. I don't know where the rest of his Marines are. There we go. They are leaving out from his natural. So Kyo's going to need to put this army together and see if he can get some counter damage. But Bunny, he's prepared for this. He's got tanks spread out all over the place. He's trying to meet the army out on the map as well with his Marines.
Oh, nice target firing there. Bunny does take down one of the tanks of Kyo. He does lose a lot of Marines in the process, and we actually don't have too many tanks protecting this triangular third base location. Bunny has to try to split up his army a little bit better here. He only has one tank.
Yeah, Bunny really heavily prioritizing keeping that center safe. I guess he realizes as well, if you lose that center on this map, you kind of lose access to all the bases. You can lose your production. It's very important to keep that safe, and he is just going to be shocking around with his bio out on the map to see if he can pick off any more tanks and make this less dangerous for himself.
Yeah, we'll see if he can pick anything off. At the same time, we see Cure struggling, trying to take another expansion here on location. He has his own army split up as well, trying to find an opening, trying to find a way in. Again, the onus is on Cure to deal damage. Meanwhile, Bunny, he's taking a 5th CC.
You see scans going down everywhere. Bunny, unfortunately, kind of outlining the army there of Cure. Cure just kind of sat in the middle of the map trying to catch Bunny going for an aggressive move, but it feels like Bunny at the moment just trying to keep himself safe and trying to zone out any potential attacks from Cure.
Yeah, and Bunny, he's pulled it off, you know. All he had to do was stay at home until he maxed out. That's all he had to do, and now here we are, 200 supply. Finally, we see his army being a little bit more active on the map, and Cure has to be careful here. He does have eyes on this.
Yeah, he does have a good position with the tanks. Bunny throws down that scan. He's going to threaten a bit of a drop here. I'm not sure if Cure already saw that, but a good fight here for Bunny as well. I love this army movement throughout the mid-game.
Yeah, he does take down and just shave off a lot of those Marines who do have a singular drop headed towards the main base. I just realized Cure, unfortunately, he's lacking a little bit in the circles. He's lacking a little bit in the Venn diagram. There is an opening to go in towards his pocket base or even his natural, the natural that isn't there anymore.
Yeah, this is a game. This is a part of the game where things get really volatile in the TvT. Even a single drop like this of 3/3 Marines, they can take down a mineral line instantly.
Oh yeah, they can just make short work of a mineral line. Cure is trying to be as greedy as possible. He's trying to expand as much as he can to recover, and it looks like for the most part he has. His work count isn't where it really needs to be. He doesn't have that many mules either, but he makes up for that in his army.
And I have to give props to Bunny as well. He's kept these 3 Ravens alive for the entire game. That's really impressive.
Yeah, and here we go. He's on siege. He dives on top of the army of Cure. We have some disables as well. The order chart's coming in from behind, and it looks like Bunny's going to shut down this army.
Yeah, with the help of those Ravens disabling all of those tanks, Bunny absolutely crushes this fight, keeps all of his own tanks alive, and is going to be able to set up a push. But meanwhile, Cure with the counterattack down to the bottom left is going to be taking out this PF. 31 SCV is going to be going down.
Wow, I didn't realize how oversaturated that base was. Suddenly, Bunny loses all of his economy. His army completely out of position. He's rushing back home, but he may even lose another base.
Yeah, Bunny picks up all of his tanks to rush on over. There's a lot of damage going down on this PF. He's trying to get the repair, but the SCVs do get focused down.
Oh, they do get focused down, but here comes the drop. There just aren't. There isn't enough on the ground here for Cure. Once again, his army gets cleaned up. Cure is far ahead in the economy, but GG gets called. Bunny taps out.
Yeah, Bunny with 25 workers left, no minerals. He has no way to find himself back in this game, and Cure, in one hell of a scrappy game from start to finish, gets the win.
GG. Oh my god. I think part of that comes back to that 5th base of Bunny having 31 SCVs and everything going down in an instant. It's like, oh no, just completely forcing Bunny all in. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, just a beautiful move by Cure there. I didn't even see it. I was watching that main fight. It looked like their armies were pretty similar in that main fight, and Cure managing to split off quite a lot of army down to the south and hit him with that double prong attack.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hitting the most crucial mining base of Bunny. That was very back and forth, very dynamic of a TvT there. And we're going to be continuing here with this series with game number 2. And game 2 is going to be on Waterfall.
I love Korean TvT.
You're like,
so good. They're speaking my language. You just make Marines and tanks and you ape. None of this EU turtle on 4 bases into the mass Skyterran army. You just go. and you never stop going.
The Europeans are the real apes, buddy. Okay, they try to act all high class and sophisticated with their siege lines. Nah, mate, that's unnatural.
But here we go. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map for Team NV, this is our Korean Terran in the red. It is Bunny.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Waterfall, we have his opponent, the South Korean Terran player, currently leading the series 1-0, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Cure.
So both players going to be starting off pretty standard with their openings. This is a map that has a little bit of a weird meta to it as well. I have been seeing a lot of in-base 2x Reaper, in-base 2x Reaper on this map into a bit more of a 2-1-1 setup. It's kind of a bit of a meta-ring build where you're trying to catch out your opponent going for a proxy Rax Reaper. And it can lead to some pretty weird games. I remember seeing Mario and Beyond going for mirrored 2-Rax builds in this map, but looks like that's not what's going to be happening here. Just standard builds from the players.
Yeah, I think we've seen that in either GSL or even in the ESL Open Cup Asia or something like that. Just these really wild TvTs. I think we've seen the same with Gumiho and Beyond as well. But they're, you know, they're a tier of their own.
That's them, yeah.
they're their own kind of evolved ape or devolved ape, depending on how you look at it. Regardless, it looks like we're not quite getting that here. Cure, he does go for his own factory in his main. There's no 2 Raxes.
Yeah, and Cure's going to get a small advantage here just by skipping out on the SCV scout. So Bunny sending in that scout in is going to see that everything is normal. Isn't going to be able to just go for his standard build here, and it looks like, yeah, Cure actually going to be opting for a reactor first, so he's going to be the player to go a little bit more aggressive on the Reaper Hellion.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's going to be able to pump out 2 Reapers at a time. Meanwhile, from the side of Bunny, he's not doing anything of the sort, looking to just go for his regular expansion timing. Same for Cure as well. And we'll see how things turn out as the first Reaper of Bunny gets into the main.
Yeah, very aggressive with this Reaper. Does actually manage to get the first shot on the other Reaper, so he's going to be able to delay this expansion. And I think he should be able to get that SCV as well.
Yeah, he gets the SCV, and he's going to be able to get the hell out of there. What's important as well is he's also able to scout the production, confirm the reactor on the rack, so he's fully aware of the aggression coming his way from Cure.
Yeah, in response as well, just going to throw down that fast reactor, throw down that tech lab as well. So looks like he's set up to go for, this could be a tank drop or a cyclone drop or something like that. On the side of Cure as well, considering he's been scouted, he might opt to not go for the 5 Reaper 3 Hellion. And yeah, there we go. He's going to be making a mine, so he's going to be playing a little bit more defensively here.
Yeah, the transition is that mine does show us that he wants to try and just secure his natural, especially because his CC was a little bit delayed. He may be a little bit concerned that his opponent would be in his face. And a lot of this also comes down to the fact that if you look at his vision, he hasn't scouted anything. Doesn't quite know exactly the opener that Bunny was going to be going for. So yeah, just going to be playing this safe.
Yeah, and there we go. That medevac is started up, so it looks like it's going to be a bit of a cyclone drop coming out from Bunny. So this is a build that if you can out micro maybe a cyclone that's left alone in the main for Cure, the damage can start to spiral quite quickly.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the control, the micro here of Bunny. How can he really finesse this drop in the end? As he's going to be moving out as soon as that medevac is done. We'll see if Cure can respond in time as well. As you were kind of talking about it, he will have a cyclone in his own main base, and he does have a decent amount of units here in between his bases to respond as well.
Ooh, interesting. Looks like the marine, the medevac's actually going to be hanging back, waiting for the tank. So very aggressive variation coming out from Bunny. Is going to be trying to do a little bit of a tank drop, just get that tank into an awkward position, maybe one where it can cover the front of the natural of Cure, and then he can start to poke away with his units.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of angle he decides to attack from and where he decides to siege up here. The Widowmine is going to be spotted, just barely there by Bunny.
Yeah, nice on Burrow as well. He's going to prevent the drag, and the tank is in position. Very well met out by Cure, and beautiful micro from Bunny to soak up the attack on the Reaper.
Yeah, the Reapers are there just to soak up the mine shots. The tank is able to get a couple of shots off as well on the army of Cure. Lock on just to pick off a couple of units here and there. It looks like Bunny doesn't have enough to really push on forward, but these lock-ons, these tank shots, you know, they slowly add up.
Yeah, Bunny just dancing back and forth, trying to see if he can bait any of these units into the tank, but with that tank coming out from Cure, that should be the end of this, and really this is very well held by Cure. Manages to save most of his units, and I think he should have a small lead from this.
Yeah, exactly. This could have been a lot worse here for Cure. It could have been worse even if he just didn't unburrow that first Widow Mine as well. That really did buy Cure a lot of time. Meanwhile, we see Bunny rotating over towards the main base. Does get a depot here for free. We don't know if he can really get too much here. Meanwhile, Cure, oh my god, no fear. He goes for a Raven across the map.
This unit's going everywhere. It's beautiful, Papi.
You're like, yes, Flappy, get all over me. As we have a drop slipping into the main base of Cure at the same time Bunny is threatening the natural.
Yeah, and this Raven going to arrive at the same time from Cure, so turret going to be going down in that mineral line of Bunny while he goes for the add-on swap. So much going on all at the same time.
Oh, exactly. It looks like the Raven actually doesn't pull the trigger. He doesn't go for the auto turret harass. Bunny has eyes on this. He's going to be able to chase this away. The army's turning around. The Cyclone of Bunny is looking to try and intercept this Raven.
Yeah, nice movement there. Looks like, a bit of a double bluff there, and the Raven is going to be able to find it, so turret going to be going down. Cyclone doesn't find that, but yeah. Kyo got a little bit unlucky as well in that main. He did go for the turret, but the SCVs blocked it. He tried to drop it in the mineral line.
Yeah, now the Marines come into the main base as well. Oh my god, Cure snipes the Raven of Bunny.
Yeah, the Raven of Bunny going down, and Cure keeps his Raven alive, so who is baiting who? The Vikings finally going to come into the back of the base and clean that up, but pretty good damage to trade out that Raven when it was trapped.
Yeah, and this is where I have to wonder, you know, like, sure, Cure wasn't able to deal any harassing damage because of the unfortunate pathing of the workers, but because of all that extra energy, he had 2 Ravens to kill the Raven, so I guess it was worth it. It's hard to say.
Yeah, once again, we're going to be seeing Cure set up in the middle of the map and sending these Ravens in for a counterattack into that main. Should be able to get quite a few SCVs here. There's a lot of energy for turrets on these Ravens, and yeah, there we go. He's going to be able to trap these SCVs in the corner here.
Yeah, there we go. 2 auto turrets thrown down. 3 SCVs are going to be falling here. The Vikings are coming in, though, and this is going to be an expensive loss if he loses all 3 of his Ravens, and it looks like he will.
Yeah, I mean, who is trapped with who? Looks like the Raven's going to be going down. All 3 Ravens going down for 6 SCVs. Not a great trade there by Cure. And Cure is really far behind on his third timing as well. His orbital's only just finishing now as Bunny is landing here. So it looks like Bunny was delayed in doing so, but at the same time, he doesn't have his Ravens now.
Yeah, he doesn't have his Ravens. Cure is actually going for maybe some Viking harass into the main base, some landed Viking harass. At the same time, Bunny doesn't care. He's looking for an opening. He does spot the army unsieging, but he's forced back due to these Vikings.
Yeah, Bunny's caught completely out of position. These Vikings are going to shred through the main SCVs, but actually, they get a lot of them really low and haven't killed them.
Oh my god.
Looks like Cure going to be trying to finish those off, but he doesn't. I have no idea how no SCVs went down, or maybe only one.
I think only one SCV died. I was like, there wasn't even a repair or anything like that. It's just wow. Cure, he's just been throwing away so many of his air units, and he's just been a little bit unlucky every time.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a mistake there to land in the mineral line rather than behind it. I think, well, definitely a mistake to do that. Yeah. But at the same time, there was a lot going on all at once. Bunny was threatening that attack at the same time, and Bunny going to be splitting his army in half. This is wild.
Oh my god. And again, because of this, he outpositions Cure. We do see his army forcing a lift up on that 3rd CC. Doesn't get a kill, though. Doesn't get too many workers. Actually, Cure just rotating over and taking the other 3rd.
Yeah, and Cure going to be trying to put on some pressure on the 3rd of Bunny, which Bunny hasn't really been able to get going too much. At the same time, Bunny, he is somewhat in position. He's going for a drop now. Oh, he has been caught out of position by Cure, but he has the Viking lead.
He does have the Viking lead, but you know what? We just land the Vikings anyway. We force the CC up. Both players on 2 base economy right now, but as you were saying, Bunny, he does send a couple of medvacs across the map. He's getting ready for a drop.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to pick up a few of those extra Marines, so double drop going to be heading into the main of Cure. What is here for Cure? He's got a tank sieged a little bit out of position. There's a Cyclone there as well. Bunny's just going to boost straight on over that. And ooh, he's going to get that full drop into the main here. Might even be able to deny the combat shields.
Wow, combat shields is going to be denied. The Cyclone goes down, 8 SCVs as well. Eventually, this drop is going to be cleaned up, but again, such a great trade. And oh my god, he actually gets out.
Yeah, gets out with that double drop. Meanwhile, we do see he's able to set up his other third. So both players able to do that. Cure actually fully mining on his third. So I'm not really sure when it happened, but he's gained a pretty significant economic lead.
Yeah, even though Bunny did get his own third CC at a pretty similar time to Cure, Bunny, he was forced to lift up quite a lot of times. Like, he just hasn't really been able to make full use of that CC, of actually making those workers, using those mules, and as a result, Cure has gotten quite a bit of an economic lead.
Yeah, whether deliberate or not, it looks like Bunny has missed quite a lot of production here, and I think it has been just to get himself a bigger army. He's cut quite a bit of SCVs, and there we go. We do see he's going to be diving straight on in there. Catches the tanks out of position, and good disables at the back.
There we go. He was on siege, but he catches a lot, if not every single one of those tanks. We have the siege up as well. Bunny forcing his way through the center of the map. GG gets called, and Bunny ties it up.
GG. Bunny just cutting some SCVs, going for a little bit of an all-in there, and crushing Cure in a wild TvT.
GG. And I guess that sort of play makes a lot of sense on Waterfall, right? Just because it doesn't take too long to counterattack, and yeah, it can be a little bit difficult to really get your eye on exactly what kind of worker count your opponent is on and what kind of position or economic position you're in compared to your opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And on a small map like that, any small mistake can be the end of the game. And that's exactly what we saw. So these two players are going to be one-on-one in what feels like a very evenly matched battle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. And how is this going to end? We're going to be getting into game number 3. We're tied up 1 apiece, and we are going into our ace match. As a reminder, winner of this series has the world champ, has Cyril waiting for it.
Yeah, here we go. So we are going to be settling things on inside and out. Another one of the smaller maps here, but it is also a map that's a little bit more defensible. Once you get that 4th base up, it is pretty easy to keep yourself safe on those 4 bases. It's just a matter of, whether you can get there. As we have seen, these two players are very aggressive in the early and mid game.
God, they really are, and one of those players is spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Team NV. It is Bunny.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, this is Cure.
Boy, we've had some very intense, very dynamic TvTs. The best kind of TvTs, to be honest. If only all TvTs were like that. But how are things going to settle here in Inside and Out? As a reminder, because it's a GSL group, no one's being eliminated here. They will have another chance in that elimination or in that losers match, elimination match. But no one wants to be there. That's, of course, where Lambo is waiting for them.
Yeah, and I mean, that's no pushover either, as we do see, both players going to be going for the pretty standard builds once again. Neither of them opting to go for 2-Rex Reaper. I guess they just respect each other's micro enough that they're not going to be opting for that. And Bunny here going to go for a bit of a funny positioning of his buildings, but it's just to avoid getting siege from the low ground, which can be really annoying on this map.
Yeah. There are some players that, despite the map, they just go for the same kind of building positioning anyway, but there are others that adapt, and we can see that Bunny, he's hyper aware of the threat of that low ground, and he's just getting prematurely ready for that, just in case that tank push were to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially on this map, especially on the spawn that he got, your add-ons are pretty exposed if you do opt to go for that normal positioning. So it could just be that he just doesn't want his first reactor to be in range of the tank drop position there.
There you go. So he's just going to be playing this out a little bit safer here. He's going to be going for his first Reaper across the map, not going for a Reaper reactor as we have seen in times past, as we do see Cure going for.
Yeah, so Cure really likes his Reaper reactor build. I think he might have been the one that actually popularized it, the 5 Reaper 3 Hellion. Yeah, we do see Bunny just going to be scouting around with that Reaper. It feels like Bunny's done a really good job of mixing up his unit movement as well. He's used his Reaper slightly differently in every game, and that's a really good little detail.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people kind of look over, but it is, I feel like, pretty important in TvT, especially because, like, if you're a little bit too samey, if you're a little bit too predictable with your own Reaper movement, then you can get caught out of position. And we do know how things can snowball really quickly if you do lose, say, one Reaper early on.
Yeah, there we go. So we are going to be seeing this Reaper Hellion being made by Cure. Looks like he is finally going to get to do his 5 Reaper 3 Hellion attack.
Let's go, Bobby. He was almost able to pull it off earlier in the previous game, if you recall, but now finally he can make as many Hellions and as many Reapers as he wishes. And yeah, we're finally going to see how Bunny can respond to that, as he himself is positioning himself quite defensively here at home.
Yeah, there we go. Just a very standard build coming out from Bunny. Is going to be getting the tech labs on both buildings. So yeah, looking to play this one out in a more standard fashion. Maybe feeling that in the last few games, Cure has been a bit too aggressive maybe, and the Bunny's come out better when he's been defending. So yeah, it makes sense as a decision.
Yeah, just going to be waiting to receive. We have the first Cyclone on the way as well. And in a couple of seconds, there we go. Cure is going to be sending everything across the map. He's got his 5 Reapers, he's got his 3 Hellions, and he's going to be looking to try and break through the natural base of Bunny.
He's going to send it.
Oh.
Let's go. There we go. So just spreads his units out. He's going to be trying to jump on this fight here. Nice quick reactions by a Bunny, but Cure going to be jumping right on top of these units. Fantastic trade here. The Cyclone out just in time, but Bunny pulls back as well. Sorry, Cure pulls back at the perfect time.
Yeah, with the power of that Cyclone is able to force Cure all the way back. Looking at the units tab there, in the end, it looks like Bunny did lose a little bit more, especially gas-wise. So not just that, but also the Reaper count was reset, so Bunny's going to have a bit of a harder time going for any kind of counterattack or any kind of scouting earlier on.
Yeah, and it looks like Bunny actually being caught out of position here. Cure's going to be driving on into the main and should be able to get quite a few SCVs. Oh, great turret though. He's going to be zoning those Reapers out.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It looks like they're still going to get a couple of SCV kills though. It looks like 4 SCVs. Can he get a 5th? It looks like, oh, barely just 4 SCVs.
Yeah, 4 SCVs going down, so nice little lead here. That might prompt Bunny to go for a counter-attack here. These players have absolutely been at each other's throats this series, and would not be surprised at all to see Bunny just sending some units across the map whenever he gets the opportunity.
Speaking of, there we go. He's going to be moving out. The Hellion is looking to slip on in, but this is spotted by Bunny. Does pull away 1 Marine just to fend it off for the time being. What's important is that Cure did spot the move out, so he should be getting ready. There we go. He is sieging up his tank here on the right-hand side.
Yeah, there we go. The Hellion is going to be getting in. The Raven should be in position just to throw down a turret to help deal with that, but the amount of attention to detail and how much each of these players is getting out of their units, it's kind of insane.
Yeah, and once again, another Raven slips into the main base of Bunny, so even more workers are falling here. Cure is getting a pretty nice worker lead.
Yeah, Cure playing a nice aggressive game here, getting a good amount of damage. Keeps Bunny at home as well. I think Bunny, realizing that Cure saw the move out and would be set up for it, just wanted to pull back for a moment, make sure that he's all safe at home before he fully gives his attention to this push.
And speaking of, there we go, the move out, the push is moving out here. It's likewise, Cure is also going to be meeting Bunny in the center of the map. Who's going to be able to react first?
I missed something. Cure has a 3rd CC, Bunny does not, and it's because he's got a 2nd starport.
Let's go, but we do have a 2 starport build coming out from Bunny. Both armies do meet here, but Bunny's the first to siege, and he gets a couple of hefty shots off on the army of Cure.
Yeah, there we go. And just switching to that vision of Cure as well, does look like he did see the extra starport building, so be interested to see if he's going to throw down another starport at some stage to try deal with this. It doesn't look like it so far, which is a bit odd to me. I'm curious to see how he's going to deal with this.
Yeah, like it didn't click in my mind, and maybe it didn't click in Cure's, but when that Hellion slipped in towards the natural, when it slipped past the army, it was actually like delaying the starport, the 2nd starport. It didn't click in my mind. Oh right, that's the 2nd starport. And
yeah, me neither.
I wonder if Cure has caught on, because as you're saying, he hasn't responded with his own.
Yeah, Cure is still making Ravens. I'm not really sure how that happened. This looks like, I think, a 3rd Raven that maybe got delayed a little bit.
It's a 4th.
Because,
oh my god.
Yeah, I think it must be a 4th Raven, because Bunny's got 7 Vikings out and Cure has none. Oh yeah, there's 3 Ravens dabbing into the main.
Yeah,
what is this?
3 Ravens are going for some harassing instead. They're not going to be at home to defend. A lot of workers are going to be going down. They're going to be forcing Bunny even more all in.
Yeah, these Ravens going to be dropping everything that they can down on these SUVs. Good pull by Bunny. He is going to be able to get most of those out of there as the natural does come out of under threat now.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of energy remaining there. We go more auto turrets are thrown down across the map. They're going to be delaying so much mining here. Bunny has to pull the trigger soon. He has so many Vikings. Here we go. The Liberators are coming in.
Yeah, the Liberator has arrived. These tanks will be covering those units, so looks like Bunny is going to be able to progress his position. And honestly, if Bunny takes his time with this and doesn't take too much damage at home to these Marines that are going across the map, I don't see a way for Kyo to deal with this. The CC goes down too.
Oh, CC does go down. Kyo is sending a second wave of Marines across the map, by the way. Like, he knows there's got to be nothing at home. There we go. The Marines are getting in towards a natural base. He is just going for kind of a pseudo base trade here. Meanwhile, Bunny, he has to break into the natural.
Yeah, and I think it looks like Kyo's going to be able to slow him down quite a lot here. We just have that one Liberator to break this position. If Kyo could take out this Liberator somehow, that would be huge, but it looks like he's just going to try to buy himself as much time as he can.
Yeah, but he's going to be losing a lot here to this Liberator, and how is he going to deal with this? He doesn't really have too much anti-air. He's making medevacs. His Marines are across the map. He does kill every single SCV of Bunny. 0 workers remaining.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolutely insane game. I do think that Bunny's lost most of his chance to win this game, but he does have a decent chance of forcing it to a draw. He does have the Vikings as well, so Kyo can't really float buildings. They will be easy for Bunny to shoot down.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, Bunny, he's floating his buildings off into the corners of the map. As you were saying, there are no Vikings available right now for Kyo, so there's no way for him to win the game. But we do see Bunny taking control of the natural. He's pushing on into the main.
Kyo is setting up a huge surround here. He has units 360 all around Bunny's army. I think as soon as Bunny unsieges, he's going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, here we go. We're waiting for that moment. We're waiting for the unsiege. Looks like the ramp has been taken control of by Bunny, and Kyo, he just has to be patient.
Yeah, Kyo is just waiting. He has these Ravens too, so he can disable the tanks, and there we go.
Wow, 3 of these tanks are disabled. Bunny has to react quickly. He does land some of his Vikings. A lot of auto turrets are thrown down.
Yeah, huge 360 surround. The auto turrets are going to be keeping these 2 tanks safe. So we have 2 tanks. We have the Vikings left for Bunny. He does have this position. So these 2 medevacs of Kyo, they are going to be zoned on out. This is really going to come down to the wire.
It really is. I mean, Kyo still has a couple of Marines remaining here on the low ground, but the production is completely forfeit. And Bunny, with all these Vikings, the Vikings may just win in the game.
Yeah, I love this as well. I think Kyo was going for a couple medevacs because he wanted to transport these SUVs in the main out of there in the medevacs. But it looks like the Vikings are going to be able to prevent that. We do see these SUVs are being cornered here for Kyo. Kyo going to be sending his double drop out just to see if he can clean up any more buildings of Bunny. But Kyo doesn't have Vikings, so I don't think Kyo can actually win this game. He can only force a draw.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way for him to win. There's no way for him to kill the CC that's about to go in towards the dead space on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side as well. And because of that, I think Bunny's done it. There is still production.
Yeah, I think Bunny wins.
Yeah. There are a couple of Marines on the way, but that's not going to be enough to break these tanks.
Yeah, so we just see Bunny going to be floating these CCs out into the corners. Not a BM move. This is the right move in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a little BM, but, you know, it's the right call. And, yeah, I mean, we do see Kyo catching a couple of buildings here in the middle of the map. He's going to be able to take down the factory, take down the barracks, but the problem is that he doesn't know how untouchable these CCs are going to be.
Now, one advantage that Kyo does have is he has 1 SUV out on the map. So he has this SUV down to the bottom left-hand corner. Looks like Bunny might have been able to spot it with the CC if he was paying attention there. And of course, Kyo is revealed. He is going to drop that CC there. Does Bunny know? Did he see that SUV with his CC?
That's the question, because if he has, he can win by elimination by shutting down this CC. Kyo, he's also trying to find what little buildings he can. He's trying to find an angle of attack. The reality is that Kyo, he can kind of destroy the army of Bunny if he does catch it a little bit haphazard. If he's able to catch a couple of units here and there, he does have a little bit more of a mobile army.
Yeah, and there we go. We do see 1 Marine split off by Kyo. Great job there to split off that 1 Marine just to find this base here. He is going to find the base to the top left-hand corner as well. That's going to go down, but Bunny will know where the army is for Kyo.
True, the CC is going to be going down, and meanwhile, the CC on the bottom right-hand corner is untouchable. But he does get an orbital. He does bring it down.
Yeah, so the orbital in the top left going to go down. I think that does make it a little bit harder for Bunny to win this by getting back to mining. Does mean that he has to be pretty careful with his units. If he wants to get the win here, he can't get caught out by these Marines on the map.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Kira is hoping for. He's hoping for Bunny to slip up and, you know, have like a stray Raven slip into him, as the CC has finished and Kira can now commence mining.
Yeah, the CC does finish after he makes a depot. I think he's going to make 2 depots, actually. Yeah. He doesn't have enough for a second depot.
Oh, he has to wait a little bit longer, so it's going to take a while for him to really get back up and running economically. Meanwhile, I almost want Kira to like move away with that Marine on the bottom right-hand corner, just to like lure the CC maybe to try and land or something, as Bunny is moving out.
Okay, so does he kill his own units to make a second depot here? Oh, no, wait, he can mine a bit. Oh, duh.
Yeah, he can mine.
Okay. I would have killed 2 of my Marines there.
You're crazy, Papi. You're crazy. As Bunny, he's rotating over. He's headed towards the CC.
Bunny's caught him out of position, and he knows where the CC is. Is he going to be able to get the tank siege up? The tank is sieged up. That's huge.
Yeah, the tank is sieged. There's no way through this area, through this location. Curie's coming in, but there's no way for him to engage.
Yeah, he wants to take the fight. He's going to pull the trigger. He's going for it. He splits up his Marines. The Vikings are in the air. They're going to need to land once again, but the turrets go down.
Oh, both tanks are taken out here. A bit of a misstep, but GG gets called, and Bunny takes the series 2-1. Oh.
GG. Insane game there. I thought maybe we were heading towards the draw, but with those Vikings able to take out the flying buildings, Bunny finds a way to win that crazy base trade. But props to Kira as well. Kira's in a really rough position, and sending every single Marine across the map there is not an easy move to find, and it's the only move that kept him in that game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is unfortunate that he wasn't able to react accordingly to the 2-port to the 2-starport build there of Bunny, so he was caught a little bit with his pants down. But moving out with those Marines was the right call. As you were saying, they didn't really have a purpose back at home. They weren't really useful to help protect those tanks any more than they would have if they were there. So yeah, very close game there, very close.
Yeah, it's pretty sick how fast he did it as well. That's such a hard call to make in the middle of a game.
It really is. It really is. And GG, well played to Bunny in a nail biter of a series. Takes down Cure. But again, that series really could have gone either way. 2 very evenly matched Terran players.
Yeah, now he gets to play against Cyril. No worries.
Congratulations, Bunny. Congratulations.
Now you die.
As he does move on to the winners match, and as Asher is saying, we're getting ready here for our first TvZ of the night. As Bunny moves on against Cyril, later on in the evening, Lambo will be playing against Cure.